Hey, you guys, it's Chrissy, and today I am interviewing my bestie, Jay Narvaez. Hi, Jay. Say hi. So, we are here today to go over some of Jay's financial journey, and we're just gonna dive right into it. So, I have a few questions here for you, Jay. So, I know a lot of us, we don't really know we need help with our finances sometimes. So, what was it that made you realize that you needed help with your finances?
Okay. So I always thought that I knew what I was doing. I was like, yeah, I got this. I have a minimum payment. I'm paying. I'm good, right? And at one point, I think my husband was the only one working, and we were like living paycheck to negative paycheck. And I never really like discussed that with nobody. I didn't tell people that we were struggling. But when I started working part-time and able to contribute, I realized that we still wasn't getting anywhere. So I was like, I'm still all this debt. And I didn't, it wasn't like a place where I hit rock bottom, but it was a place where I was like, I need to get out of this stuff. And what do I need to do to get out of this? And that's when I, decided to pick up a personal finance book instead of me doing myself and not getting anywhere. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
No, that's good. I know. Well, this interview is about you, not me. So I was the same way. I really didn't know that I needed help with personal finances until someone brought it to my attention, and it was actually Ryan's coworker was like, why don't you guys have a savings account? And then he came home and he's like, why don't we have a savings account? I'm like, because we're spending everything, So I know I shared more of that in the interview when you interviewed me. So if you haven't checked that out, everyone, I'll link a card above. So what was the most impressive financial lesson you learned from that book you read, or any other?
Okay. Well, actually it was from that book, and eventually I guess the videos, you can say. It was the moment where they started talking about investments, and they showed the difference of if you would have started about 24 years old versus starting at 30 years old. And the 24-year-old, I think, contributed, was like for 5 years straight, and then stopped contributing and still retired a millionaire. And I was just like, what? Why nobody told me that? I was like, I would have been contributing the day I started working. Like, that was the aha, wow, I can't believe I wasn't here yet. Like, it was just that. And then when they showed like the person in their 30s had to contribute, I think it was like every year until they retired, until they became a millionaire. And it was just like such an eye opener for me. Like, I never knew that, and I had to read about it or had to watch it. And it was just like, nobody never told me that. But again, I think it's because, the community where we came from, that they didn't know that and they didn't experience it. And, we're changing that. We're going to change that, because we're going to tell our generations, this is how you do it. Yeah. So, and I think on top of that was, I didn't know that you had started your journey yet. And I think it came, I don't even know how that conversation came. I can't never remember how it came, but I know that we just randomly started talking about it. And we're like, wait, what? You started already? I was like, oh, I'm just reading the book. So like, but I think you started before you took the class, and I think we took the class around the same time. Mm-hmm. So it was just like the way I think you were a year in before the class. Yes. But it was just the way it happens. And I just think it was amazing. It was like faith.
Yeah. Yeah, when I remember the day we were talking about it, I was sitting on your couch at your old house, and at that point in time, I was bringing it up to people on like a kind of just talking about it, because everyone thinks they know what they're doing with their money, and it's a difficult topic to talk about sometimes. People just don't really want to talk about their finances, or it puts them in a bad mood. So I try to feel people out about how comfortable they are talking about their finances. And at that time, I was just trying to bring it up to people without offending anyone, you know? So, so like I remember.
But when you brought it up, I was reading, wasn't I? I was reading.
I really can't remember. I remember you said you heard of him from church. From church. Yeah, I remember you saying you heard of him for church. But I don't know if you were reading at that point or not. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But when that time that me and Naira went on that beach trip, we were talking about it. But so I might cut this part out. But
no, it's okay. Sorry, little by little.
So yeah, but it was it was just really interesting how it all. That I was bringing him up, and then you were like, oh yeah, my church is doing that too. Like we heard, like we're probably gonna look into that or whatever.
And so the first time I heard of him from church, it was like really early, like when I first started going. So I think it was about 2014, 2015. And I thought about taking it, but I was like, I'm good. I got this, you know. But I really didn't, because I wasn't even really working. Like I had a 3-hour part-time job every day, and it was like, yeah, I got this, whatever. So I didn't do it, and then it came up. Did it come up again? No, I'm sorry, it didn't come up again. I started, I think, getting more interested, and then I bought the book. And then I remember when I talked to you about it, you sent me his video. That was the first video I ever watched. You actually sent it to me. You actually sent me the video with Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps. And that was the first time I watched his actual video. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. That was while I was reading. So it was eye-opening. So, sure.
And I was the same as you when that chart that he shared, the Ben and Arthur chart with the comparison of the brothers investing, and then that chart was really what blew me away as well. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. Like, and then every time I feel tempted to pull money out of my 401k, I'm like, I look at that chart, because I'm like, all right, this money is going to grow to that. I need to not touch it. Like, is it worth that to sacrifice this now to sacrifice that over like satisfaction now or gratification now. So like I always try to remember that, and I try to look at that chart every time I'm like, no, I'm making a bad financial decision, or I'm tempted to make a bad financial decision. So yeah, that chart was mind-blowing.
That was
and definitely a game-changing moment for me as well.
That was it for me. I was like, wow, I'm ready. I'm just ready to become debt-free so I can get there.
Nice. So what keeps you motivated to stay on track to pay off debt?
Okay. So normally I would say, like, people will be like, yeah, because, you know, I want to be a millionaire, or I want to build wealth and I want to do that. But for me, I think it's much more than that. For me is I love to give. And I feel like if I'm debt free and I have, you know, everything else situated where I'm contributing fully to my retirement, and I have my fully funded emergency, and then my kids are taken care of, at that point I'm just like, I just want to give whatever I can do. I just want to give away. And that sounds like people like, give away your money, and like, not, yeah, I do. Like, if I am at the point where I'm like extremely comfortable, I just want to be able to give to charities, give to donations, and, you know, hopefully one day be able to have my own nonprofit, so I can just, give. For me, it's give like no one else.
I know giving has been on your top agenda for years now, and I know you talked about a charity you would want to start, and for a specific purpose. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Or?
Sure, yeah. Actually, I'm glad you bring it up. I haven't even really thought about it in a while. Like, I know that I want a nonprofit, and I've always struggled with what specifically. And it actually came with a conversation with a friend from the hospital, and I was like, if there was something that you need in the hospital, in the NICU, because, you know, I have personal ties to the NICU, as, you know, All my children were in the NICU, all three. Yes, four. Um, oh, that's my train of thought. So if it was, if there was a need in the NICU, what would it be? And she stated that a lot of families aren't able to afford like burial costs. And that kind of hit me really hard because my first pregnancy, I carried up to 25 weeks and I was carrying twins. And at one point, this is going to get me emotional. You can call me off guard here. And after 23 days, I lost one. So knowing that there is a need for that, it really hit home. Especially, when I had to bury my son, I had to tap into my wedding fund because we were getting married that year and I didn't have an emergency fund. I didn't have a funeral fund or anything like that, and having to tap into something where I didn't have the money, it's really personal. So that would be like a future goal, to be able to help other parents afford their child's funeral costs so that they can actually be able to find a way to, remember, their children or their NICU baby and their preemie or what. I'm trying to hold myself.
Let it out if you need to.
But yes, that's a future goal for me.
That's awesome. I think that's an amazing journey. And I remember when you shared that with me years ago, I was like, that's amazing, because I can't imagine, the feelings that you went through at that point in time, but like having to worry about how am I going to bury my son? I can't even imagine like how much that hurt you, and just trying to find the money to get there, so I think that's amazing that you want to take that burden off of the parents to financially, so they can just focus on grieving and focus where they need to focus their attention on. So I really think that's amazing, and it just came to mind, and I was just like, let me just see if it's something you want to share, because I think you need to start that as soon as possible. Yes, and like get that out there. Yes, let's bring it to fruition. Talk about it.
And it kind of like all ties in, because with the financial aspect, which is what we're doing, so it's great.
Yes. Okay. So, all right, let's lighten it up a little bit. So, let's see. If you haven't seen Jay's story with her twins in the NICU, I just would suggest you see it in the card above. She has a video on YouTube about the struggle she went through, and it's really, it probably will make you cry, but I think it's important to educate yourself on this stuff too, because I feel like it'll help you just kind of know what's going on out there with people struggling with this, the struggles with preterm labor, and I just think it's good to educate yourself on that. So let's lighten it up a little bit. What is your biggest money saving tip?
When I think of money saving tip, the first thing that comes to my mind is just being able to have a budget. I feel like when you actually sit down and figure out your cash flow, you're gonna save money automatically. I feel like you're like, wait, I pay for this? I'm gonna take that out. So I feel like the first money saving tip would be a budget. I feel like you save automatically that way.
Yeah, there's nothing like looking at those numbers and like really seeing where your money is going, that it's like, okay, I could be saving here, I could be saving here, I could be saving there. And it's really eye-opening to see that. Yeah,
I sat down with someone before and they had 3 gym memberships, and I was like, why do you need 3? Do you go to all 3 gyms? I'm just wondering, I mean, if that's what you want to do, it's fine. Do you?
Which leads me into my next question. Can you tell us a little bit about your coaching services?
Yes, sure. So I call myself the Live Life Financial Coach. And I say that because I still want people to know that they can still live their life while they're budgeting. Like, I want to make budgeting fun. You know, I'm not the typical where, okay, I'm gonna button up with my shirt and I'm gonna be so serious with you. We're gonna just talk financial numbers. No, I want to like have fun with you while we budget. So I normally start off with like a free clarity call, and I'm just checking to see if you need my services, me specifically, and I can help you depending on what it is. And so it's kind of like a brief call, and if it's something that we can do together, then we actually sit down for a one-on-one. Then we go over the whole budget and all your expenses and see what we can do to help you pay off debt. So the main focus is budgeting, and if you have debt, how we can pay off as fast as you can.
Okay, awesome. So helping them develop like a financial plan to pay off their debt and get in a good place financially. That's amazing. That's awesome.
You know,
if anyone is interested, where can they go to find you for your coaching?
Sure.
services?
I have a website. So it is www.jaynarvaez.com. My name. So it's www.jnarvaez.com, and on there it'll show you any services that I offer, as well as my videos are on there as well.
Yes, and I'll also put a link below for anyone who is interested in that service. Jay lights up when she talks about personal finance, and like she said, she is very fun. She's energetic. If you haven't checked out her YouTube channel, please do so, because she is so much fun and inspiring, and she just has a great head on her shoulder, and she really just wants the best for everyone to, you know, learn more about personal finance, because it's something that we're really not taught in schools. And you know, she just wants to get the education that we need and put it out there. So thank you for everything that you've been doing on your channel. It's amazing. It inspires me to keep going on my YouTube journey. And I also wanted to say congratulations, you reached your 100 subscribers. That's amazing.
Yes.
So where are you at now? I know it's above 100. Last time I checked it, I think it was
115.
Woo! That is amazing.
Little buzz, baby steps, right? Just like everything else is baby steps.
Yes, amazing. Okay, so I know you can't really give this message to your younger self because we haven't developed time machines yet, but if you could give a message to your younger self, or even to younger generations, what would that message be?
Honestly, it would be pick up a personal finance book right now. If you're a teenager, I would say starting the end of middle school up, pick up a personal finance book. The moment you start working, contribute to retirement. I wish I would have done it. So that I would tell my younger self, here's the book, read it fully, get to it. That's
perfect. Yes. Yes, we need a time machine. That's great financial advice. And
thank you.
Yeah, I hope people listening, if you are that young, that you listen to Jay's advice, because it's something that we weren't taught, you know, and we just want younger generations to really focus on their finances at an early age, because it's just the power of compound interest is just amazing and mind-blowing. And that's something that both blew our minds when we first watched financial videos or financial or even read some books. So there we go.
Compound interest. What's that quote that you say? Say it. Say it.
So Albert Einstein says that compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. So yes, it's amazing. And those who earn it those who, what is the second part of that? I forgot. Those who learn it earn it. No, that's not it. And those who don't pay it, something like that.
I was watching somebody else's, and they put the same quote up. Yes, that quote, we're just gonna put that shit on our wall.
Yeah, definitely.
We're gonna put it on our wall. I'm gonna look up. I put quotes, and he has 50 million.
Just for compound interest. Quote.
It is compound. It is compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it.
Perfect. Yes.
So we need to.
That's where I got mixed up. I was like, those who learn it earn it. I was trying to rhyme in my head. I like that quote though. I might put that quote as my quote. You know, those who learn it earn it.
Kersey's eye.
Right.
Oh my God.
Okay. Well, Jay, I just want to thank you for your time. Thank you so much for being a guest on my YouTube channel. What am I gonna say?
Thanks for having me. I just love having conversations with you in general. So, I'll do this all day if you let me. We'll have a 3-hour video if you just sit there.
I know. If we just let this go on, we probably would. Yeah, I think we talked for we had to cut it off. Like, all right, let's start because we were talking too much before this video actually started recording.
It shows that we are very passionate about financial literacy and that, we want to share with everyone else. I think that's for both of us, especially just knowing that we didn't learn it. And we should have, so we're gonna share it with everybody.
Yes.
So I think that's why we could talk about it all day.
Yes, definitely. It just keeps me motivated to just get this information out there because we weren't taught it, and I feel like we're paying for that now, but at the same time, I'm glad we at least found it in our 30s. I mean, even if you're older than 30, you still have time, you see 40s, 50s. No offense, but I still feel extremely grateful that we found it. We found it at this time.
We're making moves, and that's the goal, to get to our goal.
Yes.
Our financial goal. So yes. But thanks for having me. I love talking to you. This is fun.
Yes. I know. We need to do this more often. Yeah. If you want more videos from me and Jay, more interview videos, more conversation videos, just let us know. And maybe this is something we could make a routine and maybe add it into our video schedules.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bestie talk. Bestie talk.
Yes, I love it. Well, thank you everyone for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.
Bye.